obsessed with violence, obsessed with anything that has to do with crime and violence.
Real cops, real crooks, real cases.
If you get up tomorrow morning, you turn on the news, you will see story after story after story about violent crime and mayhem that occurred while you slept.
A $50,000 reward is being offered for information on a man suspected of brutally beating a clerk during a robbery at a check-cashing facility in South L.A. The suspect is described as
the killer as
and now the
take a
hunt
good look
is
at
on
this guy.
for the
He's
suspect.
described as 20 to 30 years old. There's 5'10".
Witnesses
Described the killer
black male.
He's wearing a do-rag.
You see drugs, you see police, you see sirens, you see handcuffs, and you see people in prison and in jails.
This imagery is very, very damaging to the psyche of the American people. It is damaging to our children.
Who then become the jurors who go in and judge the black man whom they've been trained by the media to fear.
The media impact on death penalty cases is even more severe. I think it's impossible for a juror to just erase the stereotypes.
People are called for jury duty. They say they can be fair. And then they see walk in an African American. And people can't erase that picture from their mind.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is there anything that would make it difficult issues without any prejudice or bias?
People are literally cheering him on.
Now for our nightly closer look at the O.J. Simpson trial.
Defense attorney Johnny Cochran arrived this morning.
We have the latest now on the Simpson trial.
The O.J. Simpson case created a whole frenzy about crime.
A large black perpetrator, the young blonde beauty, a knife of all things, throw in racist cops.
This was the ultimate crime story. You had race, you had violence, you had sex, you had sports. It all came together.
More people were watching television during the day, during the O.J. trial, than ever before.
O.J. Simpson is now facing the largest...
I think that people realize that it was an easy way to fill the news hole, that it's relatively cheap.
It was great TV, it was great drama, and at the end of the day, the truth that came out of that case was that this nation was divided along racial lines.
The most comprehensive trial coverage on TV, in session.
Before O.J. Simpson, there was no Greta Van Susteren, and on the record.
Co-ed Rylan Cutter died from blunt trauma to her chest. Her body was found...
Before O.J. Simpson, there was no Nancy Grace.
Hands down indictments against Lauren.
We didn't have these programs that can around-the-clock cover crime and news the way that it does.
Before calling 911. But why a cover-up?
Crime has been going down for years, and yet it gets reported, 500-600% more than it used to be. I think in part because of the 24-hour news cycles and the need to feed that entertainment beast.
We're following breaking news out of Las Vegas. 6 people have been shot on a city street there. Police say at least 5 of the victims were teenagers who just got off a school bus.
All the research shows that people that watch local television are more afraid of crime than people who don't.
Fear is a very easy emotion to evoke.
A mother and daughter were found murdered inside their car at a mall parking lot in Florida. Police say they were doing...
Fear gets people's attention, sells newspapers, it attracts viewers.
Gangs and the rising tide of violence are a constant struggle from Worcester to Boston and Fall River.
I think the big distortion on the news is that for African American men in particular, if you watch local television news, you would believe that they only commit violent crime. but about 50% or more of the felony arrests are for nonviolent crime.
I can act like an animal, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I eat you like a cannibal, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it.
And hip-hop continues the association between black males and aggressive behavior. The gangster persona reinforces a stereotype of African-American men as unlawful, disobedient.
All of those things are being sold as actually representative of what most African-American and Hispanic people are.
If it's black or brown, it must have something to do with criminality.
The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department recovered the body of Shirley Denogene, a mother of 3 who was killed by a .38 caliber bullet to the head.